Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com. Racing isn't easy.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Suzuka International Racing Course, where tonight the 86 Challenge takes on the tough technical course of Suzuka International Raceway here in Japan. My name is Sean Stam. I am joined by the one, the only, man, we got Toka up here in the booth tonight. How is it going, Toka?
Yeah, it's going good, Sean. Always excited to join the broadcast as always. Today we have a Toyota GR86 challenge here at Suzuka. Of course, Suzuka, one of the best tracks on planet Earth, always brings good entertainment. Of course, the only FAA Grade 1 circuit with a figure 8 laid out does mean that it will loop over itself, yes, as you mentioned as well. Very technical, and it will be pretty fun, I think, to see how these drivers, some of them have real live racing experience, tackle this track, especially in these Toyota sports cars.
Going to be a blast to watch these guys try and handle it today, as it is a little bit cooler track conditions. 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 33% humidity. Got cloudy conditions with 2 mile-per-hour winds. You see there, just listed below, the weather conditions commentators tonight. Once again, Sean Stam, Toka up here in the booth, bringing you the action live. As looks like qualifying is just now rounding up. We can actually we'll hop on board with some drivers here. As looks like yeah, they're just going to allow them to complete their laps, as we see who's at the top of the charts. Who other than Tiago at the top of the board? Robert right there, P2, Dennis Fang, Jason Jin, Aaron Jung. As you take a look at those qualifying results, but more importantly, let's take a look at the points. Got Tiago up there, and you saw they're already slapping it on the pole here today. Slater Colby, Stone Colby rounding out your second and third in the points. Nico Colby right there. Oh my. Triple Colby action. 2, 3, 4. Jason Jin. We got Sarb there in P6. Amethyst Reese, P7. Warren Johnson, P8. Jake Steckler, 9th. And then Robert there, P10.
Yeah, so only this stage will only be the second round of the championship, so plenty of points being made up. But of course, Tiago leading the championship handedly. Pretty large score difference already after one race, already taking a win in the first stage, and now coming to this, starting on pole for first race. For this race as well, definitely off to a very good start.
Got Nathaniel Redmond here, the last Toyota GR86 on track before, yep, there he goes, magically disappears into the pits, and these drivers will make their way to the grid. Congratulations, Tiago, as that will solidify that pole. And, well, here we go. Drivers, make your way to the grid, and if you are listening in live on the broadcast on Stam Studio Network, just like to shout you out, thank you, as you guys are what makes this possible. And if you are a driver listening live and on the broadcast, be sure, if you finish top 3, to stick around, hang out in driver interview Discord chat, and we will be sure to get you guys interviewed. Oh boy, we are inching just closer to lights out, and away we go here from Suzuka. I think we might actually get a whole pace lap as well to help get the temperatures and pressures, everything up to operating conditions. So Toka, are you excited? What are you most excited to see, rather, here today?
I think it'll be very interesting how the car interacts with the track, especially these Toyota GR86 also Subaru BRZTS, as the joint developed by Subaru and Toyota, are very heavy, and at the same time, not only are they heavy around 2,800 pounds, they also don't have the most powerful engine and a lack of turbo as well, only I think around 228, 230 brake horsepower, so definitely not the most suited car for a track like this that kind of demands really more of a light and downforce focused car, right? So it'll be interesting how these cars come into these corners, come out of the corner, especially it's very easy for a lot of these turns coming out on the exit for you to spin a wheel when you just put the power down a little bit early or when your wheels are not straight. So I think that would be the biggest point we want to watch out for today.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember back to when you and I actually broadcasted was that a BMW race at Suzuka, and I think the track conditions are going to be a little bit treacherous once that gravel and whatnot starts to build up. We're going to have the rubber build up as well, but I think we're going to see a lot more off tracks than we are thinking here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely will be another factor to take into consideration as we go around for the pace lap here. Of course, the pace car and the Porsche leading the way as the driver's going to get everything warmed up. Get the tires warmed up to get the brakes up to temperature, and then we'll get going.
Oh boy, Tiago, once again, he is no stranger to this pole. I was going to bring up that lap time, but just disappeared on the graphic software here as we are getting ready to go from the other side of the world, wherever you happen to be joining in from. We appreciate it. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon from wherever that may be. But turn one, especially those kind of hairpin-esque turns, the 180-degree turns here from Suzuka. I believe there's 2 or 3 here at the track at this current configuration. So gonna keep these drivers awake and going to test their skills here today in these GR86s. It looks like we are getting ready for lights out.
Yep, absolutely. You're going to turn around these few last corners here now. Of course, Porsche already pulling out into the pit lane. Now as we cross the start-finish line, it's going to be a goal for this first race of the second round of the championship here. Of course, Thiago Moura leading championship, already cutting off, trying to pull around the outside, trying to cut off Robert Schrenkel there in second place, turning into turn one here. This is a hairpin. Very tricky corner because it goes there a little bit downhill. You got to watch your braking point. A few drivers going side by side here. A little bit contact behind. 4 wide and one moment there between the drivers. Looks like it was Bill Wu and all the way down to Caleb Greco there. All these cars behind the Nyan Cat car as well. So have a little bit of contact, but these cars are very heavy. They're able to take a little bit of contact, but still get going. So luckily nobody getting into any early troubles there, but out of the first few corners here, it's Thiago Lima leading the race as he was started on pole. Robert Schrenkel here in second place, did anything in third. So all these drivers haven't really had a swap positions, but it's all about, can you keep up the pressure? Can you make a move here early on when these cars are still packed up together?
Oh, you hate that for Amethyst. I think she just botched qualifying, starting back there in the back of the pack, and got a little bit of damage already, but able to keep 4 tires headed straight. And, well, I sadly did lose 6 spots on the start. Oh, man, what a dive bomb out of Omar back there behind, but makes that stick into the corners. They go side by side. That's Omar and Caleb Greco. Side by side for the lead as well.
Oh my God, Robert Schrenkel, he's going to pull alongside here. Robert Schrenkel does have the inside line, but it actually doesn't matter that much because this corner is very, very long, but Robert Schrenkel is going to pull ahead, but coming to this corner, I mean, they're just kind of covering a little bit of the line here and have to try and prioritize the exit for Robert Schrenkel. On the other side, it's going to be Thiago, who really wants to just tend to move down the inside as we go down the old start pitch straight here. I mean, do you have enough slipstream here? It's just a little bit of weaving into the corners, not allowing Thiago to have a sniff, to have a look into the corner, trying to go for a move. Robert just playing the defensive game, maybe perhaps a little bit aggressive as we go through the chicane now. It's going to head into the S section as well off the track. I mean, Robert Schenkel, a great move as he pulled alongside there in that long winding corner, just had to run and then just played defensively. I think Thiago just didn't do a good enough job of covering the attacking line and kind of just letting him through and then not fighting back for the position enough.
Yeah, that was great called there, Toka. I mean, Robert to take the lead there and now looks to be driving away, but this is, I think, a long enough race that we will start to see some tire wear kind of become a factor. I know it's only 2 minutes 45 seconds into this thing. I'm already bringing up tire wear, but as the battle for the lead continues to rage on and Thiago starting to reel in Robert just a little bit. This battle I've been watching on the graphics here. Oh my, the Daniel on Daniel show, we might have to see a couple replays on because, well, here's the pass that Daniel made on Daniel, the Dynaco machine down. That's what threw me off last race, Toka. The old start finish straight, then you got the new one, which these guys are running down right now. And, well, Parmalee has the straight line speed here, makes that pass look pretty easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's easy to get thrown off by that. That actually is the start and finish point, the grid for the MotoGP race. So yeah, that's the motorbike configuration. You start there actually. But here it is. There, Daniel Parmalee just trying to make a move onto the car in front of him. There, Amethyst Reese is kind of covering their own line, but down the car behind us, or the other Daniel can pull ahead. Amethyst Reese here is just going to take the position a little bit easily. She's going to try and fight back. I mean, you can just kind of see how difficult it is to, number one, try and pass, and number two, try to defend. Because these corners, as long as you pull alongside, it's very difficult to gain enough space on the track. These cars are just so wide, and the track doesn't allow that much space for fighting. But once you do make that move stick, it's really hard to defend when you don't really have that speed, or at least when you have the car behind you already putting pressure on you. It's very hard to defend as well if you don't position your car correctly.
Speaking of position your car correctly, this battle between 6th, 7th, 8th, I mean, oh boy, we are nose to tail in these GR86s. Looks like Maxim Guzman just barely avoiding contact. Nico Colby right behind, and now would be a great time to cut to. Yes, you see it there, the driver cams. Thiago in the bottom left, running second. Well, now third, looks like just got passed by Dennis Fang. But look at the concentration out of these drivers' faces, especially Stone Colby, the top left. We ride on board with Stone Colby now.
When you're turn one here already, just battles all over the track. I mean, we're kind of separating a little bit into individual groups, up and down the grid. But I mean, within these groups, within these sort of slipstream pockets, you can kind of see the intensity fighting between these cars. I mean, they're following each other extremely closely. Especially here, we kind of see from the driver's eye view, I suppose, from Stone Colby to the pocket right in front of him. That's of course the first, second, and third place. Of course, Thiago already losing the position as we switched to the driver face camera. We actually saw Dennis Fang made a move on Thiago Lima, made that stick. Now, Robert Schenkel is still leading the race here. We'll be appreciating the fact that Fang and Lima are very close to each other and potentially could be fighting each other and slowing themselves down. But so far, I mean, Thiago, not really the most aggressive driver we've seen. Kind of when he loses his position, he doesn't really fight that hard to take it back, rather relying on his pace to catch back up.
Yeah, that's a really good point there, Toka. And I mean, I know Thiago's up in the lead in the points at the moment, so he's definitely got that in the back of his mind. Maybe just knows that he doesn't have the short run speed here today, but oh boy, a 35-minute race doesn't sound like all that long, but when you are behind the wheel of one of these Toyota GR86s, as I know lots of these drivers run in real life. Matter of fact, check out 86challenge.us if you'd like to check out some of their footage, especially Warren Johnson's YouTube channel. But I mean, that just shows how much they can trust these cars, as well as, I mean, yes, these top three, as you mentioned it, Toka, we have a little breakaway here, and then as well as a breakaway and a pack for about, yeah, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th on back. So it's super fun to watch.
Yeah, so one thing that does mean is that there's action all across the track here. And we kind of not able to see quite a lot of it here. Robert Stranko trying to pull alongside, trying to stick around that inside line to defend. The switchback gonna be attempted by Feng there, but Stranko just manages to barely avoid contact and stick to the defensive line. Stranko doing an insane job at defending his position here. Feng actually did a very good job trying to go for the switchback, set it up perfectly. But Stranko so aware of the driver behind him, so aware, just putting his car exactly where it needs to go. As the cam kind of goes buggy a little bit there, there wasn't contact between the two cars. But I mean, just look at this defensive masterclass from Stranko. Then is Feng here really putting up the heat after he passed Thiago. Lima is gonna be trailing behind them as out of the fight for first and second place, still raging on here. Stranko going defensive once again, down the inside, blocks that line, and as soon as the corner ends, he just goes back on a normal line, just understands exactly what he needs to do to defend the position.
Yeah, shout out Robert. Look at his paint scheme as well. I know he's painted a few paint schemes in our race here today. So shout out if you're looking for, especially a Toyota GR86. I mean, look at it. The very, very bright, vibrant teal and pink. It always looks better out in the lead as well. But like you mentioned, I mean, what defensive driving that he was able to put on. But I mean, cleanly and respectfully, it's going to keep him out in the lead.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just fights all over the track, but of course the most important one is between these three drivers. I mean, they're packed so closely to each other. And keep in mind as well, yes, Feng hasn't been able to pull off a move on Stranko just due to how Stranko has been defending. But as soon as they start fighting each other, they start slowing each other down. That also gives the opportunity to Lima to try and go for a move as well. And they're just following each other so closely. I mean, this lead of the race can change hand at any single moment. I mean, kind of see the difference approach in line, in part to the fact that they just have different driving styles, in part of looking for a move, but also in part they just want to have a better view, because when you're following each other so closely, sometimes you lose vision of the track and you have to kind of move offline a little bit to regain that.
Oh boy, Robert, you better run, because Dennis and especially Thiago, these guys, well, if they start battling enough, I think that will present Robert to start to run away. But if we take a look at the lap times between our leaders, this is going to be at the bottom right of your screen. Look at that. I mean, Robert's faster lap 2, 3, but actually slower on lap 4. And then comparing Dennis back to Thiago here, same story. Lap 2, lap 3, a little bit slower. Faster lap 4 is Lima compared to Feng. So, I mean, it just takes the tiniest slip up, especially if these two leaders possibly get into it, just miss their braking marker by that much, by a centimeter or maybe even a meter, I guess you'd say, comparing the two. Oh my gosh, looks like two wheels coming off the track there for both Robert and Dennis. But don't count Thiago out of this thing by any means, even Stone Colby.
Absolutely, yeah, going back here as well, another fight here, just the pack right behind them. Of course, 4th, 5th, 6th there between Stone Colby Jason and Aaron Chung. So it's just, they're a little bit more separated than the leaders. The leaders are just so tightly packed together. But I mean, look at it. Just look at this. The reason why you're seeing this is that the pace between these drivers, their lap times are just so close to each other that they're just sticking to each other. Nobody's making a move because it's very hard to gain enough of a speed differential in these cars, especially with the lack of power in these engines, in these 4-piston engines. But it's just the pacing, the lap times are just so close to each other. It's just closing. It's just gonna be following each other super closely. And if anybody makes a mistake, I mean, that's a opportunity presented right away to the driver behind them.
That's what I mean, you gotta love about Suzuka. It's got just enough straightaways to where, sure, that slipstream may matter just a tiny bit in these Toyota GR86s. Once again, 2 tires off the ground. But I love Suzuka because it combines the different racetracks. It combines the technical corners with, well, you got the start-finish straight here, and then those hairpin-esque corners. Turn plus corner apparently equals Torner, but yeah, it's going to be hard for Dennis Feng to make this pass if Robert keeps up his defense as we saw earlier. But I think Dennis is sacrificing some corner entry speed for that corner exit as we see Robert just get a better run off. But, I mean, now the car is separated by just about a car length.
Okay, I love what Robert is doing there. On the straight, out of the start-finish straight heading into turn 1 there, Robert actually went offline to deny Dennis the slipstream, right? Just deny a little bit of that aero advantage. And then when the corner came, he went back online to try and go for the braking, just brake for the corner. So just these tiny little gaps could make the difference. But Dennis finally staving off the time, taking the opportunity, trying to go send down the move. But Robert just so smart. Defending, immediately covers the inside line, goes defensive, and then it's just no place to go. One of the biggest advantages so far between these two have been the fact that into the braking zone, I think Dennis is a lot better on the brakes, is able to brake way later, carry a lot more speed into the corner. But out of these corners, Robert, not only is he setting up defensively well, so that when it goes into the corner, it's hard for Feng to try and send down a move. In turn, when he comes out of the corner, it's easier for him to put the power down because Dennis Feng is going to be in an awkward position there, kind of halfway through. Okay, I try to make a move, but I mean, he's covered the line. I got to back out, and then compromises the exit, but it's going to be a spin for Schrenkel there. Now dropping all the way back down to third place. It's going to be passed by a few more cars, and now he's completely compromised his race there. Perhaps the pressure from Feng finally got to our race leader, who's now back down to 5th there. Just a little bit of oversteer on corner exit, and that was enough to spin the car. I mean, just we were talking about earlier in the race start how sensitive these cars can be, and I think that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, let's see a better look here. I don't think there was contact between the two. It looks like this was after the incident.
Yeah, this was after.
Here's a better look here.
Oh, there is a little bit of contact, but that's on the straight. That doesn't have an effect. Okay, this Feng's gonna pull alongside here. He just dips a wheel on the grass, and then he just puts the power down. I mean, this corner goes a little bit uphill. The elevation change isn't that much, but it's mostly the fact that he dipped the wheel while turning the car and putting the power down. You're flat out on this corner. You dip a wheel and you turn you turn it at the same time like that. I mean, it's very easy to go into spin like that, and in these cars, that's exactly what happened. Oh my God, Daniel Powerly with a drift there, going Tokyo drift at Suzuka. Oh my God,
Amethyst
very
almost
luckily
caught up.
avoiding any incident. Yeah.
Oh,
very luckily didn't hit Amethyst there. Oh my God.
Now we're back live. Robert's getting a handful of Jason Jim, and Jason's getting a handful of Nathaniel Redmond right behind. As now Jason's going to be forced towards the outside line. Does Nathaniel look towards the inside? No, he does not. I think better of it. This has been such great racing and battling, as well as sportsmanship we've seen in 86 Challenge here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, you can tell they are very experienced with racing, especially in real life. You kind of see a lot of difference when you watch, especially these sort of iRacing leagues, right? You have drivers who are predominantly real life racing drivers against, drivers who are primarily sim racers. Sim racers are a lot more aggressive because, I mean, when you're in a sim, there's really no risk, right? You're not going to risk running into a wall and hurting yourself. So you're just going to drive as aggressive as possible, push the limit. I mean, look at these drivers who are, who have that real life racing experience. They're a lot more respectful. They understand the limits of the car. They don't really push that hard, right? They drive a lot more like they do in real life. And that produces a bit cleaner racing, of course, at the sacrifice of perhaps not pushing the limit on a sim.
Yeah, speaking of real life, take a look. This league was out for real. They were out at Laguna Seca on I believe that was Saturday over the weekend, and just going to cycle through a few pictures here. I mean, it's just so cool to see what Warren Johnson has put on with this league and transitioning it over to the sim world. Is look at Stone Colby's MX-5 ride here. That was different weekend, but again, that just transition. It's so cool to see that transition to the real life. Is what else is pretty cool to see is the battle for the lead continuing to heat up. Dennis Feng, Tiago, he's right back there at it between just a car length, maybe two.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd love to see the lap time comparison. He seems like qualifying. I mean, Tiago had the fastest lap, but Dennis here in the race is seeming to have the edge. I mean, you can see it. The times when when Tiago is faster, it's only by a few hundredths of a second. But I mean, the thing
Is
is,
that tied
overall,
on lap? My screen's a little small here. On lap 7? Or is
no,
my...
no, that's I think that's 6/10
Oh,
actually
okay. That's
that
sick.
that
Okay.
Fang had on Lima. So
Whew.
yeah,
I was
thing
gonna
is,
say.
Dennis Fang is I think this has the overall pace advantage compared to Tiago. Tiago, I mean, I haven't seen the most aggressive attacking moves from Tiago. I mean, Tiago does have the pace to keep up with any drivers on track right now. Oh, then it's kind of blipped out there, but back again, no problemo. Yeah, I mean, it's the pace difference is one thing, but also the fact that it looks like Tiago just kind of wants to stick it on. Looks like he's trying to play the long game rather than go for a hasty move here.
And, you know, this is exactly where I love to run. It's even in a 35-minute long race like this, you can kind of see where Dennis is beating you, where you're maybe faster. You can see his braking zones compared to you. I don't know about you, Toka, but I would just much always rather be the chaser than the chasee, especially at a track like Suzuka.
I mean, it's a lot easier being the car behind, right? You can just control the pace, manage your tires, manage the temperature, manage the wear, manage the braking, and of course, as you mentioned as well, watch the line of the driver ahead of you, especially if you're like Tiago right now, where Dennis has the lap time advantage on you, right? Just watch their line, see what you can learn as you drive. And the worst position to be, as you said, is when you're following this closely, to be the driver ahead, being the prey, because you always have to check your mirrors. You're always driving super carefully. You're always anxious, seeing, anticipating if they're gonna make a move behind you, and if they don't, I mean, the pressure is just all gonna stay there.
I think that's the joys of, I guess, racing as well. I'll get back to that. As now Tiago looks down the inside here in turn 1. As this turns kind of a double apex side by side, Tiago taking the lead with no contact. What a move.
Making a move, stake there. Dennis is giving just enough space for them to pull alongside, and Tiago just had the speed needed, just had enough juice to just make the move stick. But now, watch out here. Dennis is going to immediately try and go for a move, trying to look down the inside again. We're already around the S corners now. We're going to these long-winded corners. Going to be head down into Spoon as well. I mean, can he pull a move off? I mean, if there's any place to do it, it's out of Spoon. So let's see what he does here, Tiago. Oh, kind of breaking a little bit early there, catching Dennis Fang a little bit off guard, but no contact quite just yet. I mean, it's just about managing the pace right now. The situation has flipped. Now it's actually Dennis behind, so now he can actually play the game that Tiago is playing. Just buy his time, just wait behind him, not necessarily having to go for a move, right? You still have about 10 more minutes. That's around, what, 4 more laps until the end of the race. So you can definitely just watch your momentum to see when he makes a mistake, then you can go for it. But watch out, because all this fighting has slowed these two leaders down, and Stone Colby is now right in the fight out of nowhere.
It's what Stone Colby has done all season. I know it's only our 3rd season, but he'll creep up there as the race continues to go on, and then when the leaders start to battle each other and start to bang those fenders, look none other than Stone Colby to be sitting there right there in P3. He's up 4 spots since the start of the race, and I want to cut off this battle for the lead because there's been such close racing all throughout the track, but I don't know. Like you said earlier, Toka, it's the most important battle for the lead.
I mean, look at this. I mean, Colby is right in it. I mean, he was about 2 seconds off these two about 3 laps ago, but now he's back within 8-10, so literally within striking distance. So now a 2-horse race is turning back into a 3-horse race. Stone Colby right back at it, but don't count out Robert Frankel, who, remember, dropped down to 5th, already overtaking one driver, now back up to 4th, so has clean air in front of him as well. So, I mean, if these drivers are just driving inside the dirty air of each other, I mean, Frankel can get right back up, trying to go on a redemption arc, right? Get some revenge there for the mistake that he made early on that dropped him back down the order.
Yeah, and he's going to be driving with pretty much a hunch on his back. That was a mistake, but he's got no damage on the car and got the pace to drive right back up to it. It's It's going to be hard with just about 13 minutes to go, but we will keep an eye on that. As this was a few laps ago. Caleb Greco with, not sure if this was a self-induced spin or what, as it's heading into turn 1 here. We'll take a look. There's a little bit of, well, did I, hang on here. Sorry about that. Here's the Caleb Greco spin. I think I misclicked there, my bad. But you see out of West Racing, and ooh, that's a little bit too much use of that that curb there.
Yeah, we already saw right throughout the race. A lot of these drivers pick that curb and, you know, put two wheels on it and actually lift off the entire half of the car, right? But I mean, there is a limit to everything, and I think Caleb found that out there the hard way.
You about flipped that thing over. Oh my gosh. Oh, and look at who it is. Stone Colby, that neon green, neon yellow-esque number 6. He's right on the battle for this lead, and if we cut to the cams one more time, oh, that is not Stone Colby. Now, here it is in the top left. I mean, he's not one to play around. Look at the focus in his eyes. He might be my race winner pick.
I mean, definitely don't count him out. I think you might be right here. I mean, Stone Colby's just silently catching back up to these drivers. It does seem like he has the pace as well to keep, not only keep up, but try and gain an advantage. I try not to make a mistake because he has kind of been coming out of these corner exits, taking a little bit of too much curb, and running into trouble, falling a little bit back off. But then it's you're finally going to make a move, pulling down the inside line into turn 1. Now these drivers are going to go, of course, a double apex into turn 2 here, going to pull alongside. But Dennis fully ahead, a full car length ahead, now going to make the move stick exactly like how Thiago did him earlier a few laps ago. Now he's got the position back. Now he's back into the lead of the race.
The mutual respect, just like you said, Toka, that was the exact move that Thiago pulled earlier, and Dennis Fang, all right, I'll take some notes, and pulled the exact same move as we're going to approach. Oh, this is going to be, well, yeah, okay, 10 minutes to go. It's just getting so close to the end of the races. Oh boy, had to have been that whole front right tire lifted off the ground there for Dennis Fang. These drivers are giving it everything they have here in Japan as the gravel rooster tails off the ends of the cars.
I mean, you said it there. Let me add on to it. Let's see just the amount of gravel that's being sprayed across the entire track. Robert Schrenkel here already lost position. Jason Jin, but now going to fight back here. Tends to move down the inside. Going to make it stick for now, but watch out here. Jin going to go for a switch back. Now these cars are still side by side here. Not quite wheel to wheel. There's quite a gap between the two of them. But, I mean, it's hard to call which one's going to take it. Jin slightly ahead coming to this corner here. But now, of course, the inside turns into the outside. Now Strenkel's going to have the inside line. Can he cover off the line, though? Because this corner is very long wide. It comes about a triple header, very long-winded into Spoon as well. And Strenkel is going to make the move stick finally. Going to pull ahead, but down the old start and finish straight. I mean, there's an opportunity here as we go down the straight for Jason Jin to make a move. Here, Jason has the inside line for this corner as well. I mean, just look at the defensive play from Strenkel, forcing Jin all the way to the outside as much as he's allowed to, almost to the point of crashing out his opponent. Just kind of see the defensive approach of Strenkel. I think definitely the best defensive driver so far, but all this defending does mean that he's going to perhaps lose the opportunity to cash back up to the pack ahead, leading the race here. Oh, Dennis Fang here might pull off the move exactly like we saw before, but this time around it's actually Thiago pulling a move, but Dennis Fang has the inside line and Stone Colby right up alongside them. A 3-driver fight, and oh my god, Thiago just slightly ahead. Side-by-side racing in wheel-to-wheel action. Too much on the grass. A little bit of contact between the two drivers. He might actually put Stone Colby back into the ropes here. Dennis Fang has the inside line. Gonna cover it off. Opens up the gap. The door is open. Stone Colby comes through. Thiago covers off the line. Gonna be able to defend the position. Stone Colby just not opportunistic enough, but Dennis Fang here solidly ahead. Successfully defends the position. What an exhilarating fighting going on here.
All right, now you got to kind of get the ropes back underneath you. All right, you tried that move. It didn't quite work. As now Dennis Fang starting to grow the gap just a little bit more, but going to have the use of the slipstream here in these Toyota GR86s as the minutes continue to wind down. Stone Colby says, don't forget about me just yet. As man, Robert is now leading this pack back here, worked his way up to P4. You could throw a blanket over 5th, 6th, 7th, but battle for the lead continues to rage on.
I mean, okay, a little bit of a move here. Jason Jin gonna actually went defensive a little bit there, but Redmond not really in a position to try and catch him off guard. So it's just gonna be, I mean, this pack is gonna be following each other. Not too much fighting going on. It's about Robert. I think Robert definitely a very good racecraft in terms of pace, especially watch these corner entries, right? When heading into these braking points, it just seems like Robert just loses a lot of time compared to the drivers around him into these braking points. Not really able to break that late, kind of breaks a little bit early, and that of course compromises his line, puts him into jeopardy, right? Puts him into a position where he can be attacked from behind. That's exactly how he was under pressure when he was up there fighting Fang and Lima, but now he's comfortably leading this pack here. Has a little bit of a gap. Oh, and Stone Colby already making a move on Lima there, now into 2nd place.
Oh, good call. What a move, Stone Colby. And I said it last time by Stone's saying, all right, I gotta go. No more wasting time. Here we have the replay of this pass on Tiago.
All right, here gonna be out of this corner. It's the last corner here of the track here, the pseudo chicane, but not running a configuration. Oh yeah, I mean it's just a little bit very quick move there, right on the outside, takes a little bit of the curve, and I think Lima just took the really bad line to try and not take contact,
and as we're looking at the replay,
position away. Yeah,
this
another move here.
Yeah.
Lima sends down the one down the inside. Yeah, exactly the move that he made on Dennis Fang a few laps ago, if you remember correctly, into turn 1 as well.
Oh my gosh, this is going to come down to the last lap, isn't it? We could get a photo finish here out in Japan. If you're not already standing up there at home watching this race, oh boy, you might as well get up, because this will come down to the last lap as we're just now approaching 5.5 minutes to go. Who will it be? Oh my gosh, that's going to hurt Stone Colby's chances.
Big time, puts his entire car off track there.
Take a better look.
Watch
I think
back.
Stone's just trying to give every inch that he can, and ooh, almost makes contact at the tire barrier.
Yeah, puts his foot down through the corner, going a little bit wide already and not lifting off. I mean, yeah, as you said there, almost ended his race if he ran to the tire barrier there, but luckily avoiding that situation. But it does mean he will have to try and catch back up. The gap was only within 0.5, but he's already lost, of course. Now back down to about 1 1.3 tenths there. Sorry, 1 second and a third tenth, but I mean the fight is still back on him. I mean, it's between Fang and Lima once again. Lima, of course, spending a few laps trying to defend his position from Colby, but now he's back in it, trying to pull alongside here down the inside. Doesn't have the pace, doesn't have the gap though. So Fang doesn't even need to pull into a defensive position. Yeah, he had a good try, but just didn't really have to run for it just yet.
It was a try, and it's also maybe getting Dennis Fang looking back in his rearview mirror just a little bit more. But I think Tiago also has in the back of his mind and in his back mirror as well is Stone Colby. So once you make this move up here for the lead, you better make sure it works and you're able to get around, as we have a little weaving action out of Tiago. It has the outside this time by. Does Dennis Fang have the grip on the inside? Side by side out of turn 2.
We'll wait to wheel action here once again. That Tiago tried this out a dummy move, and it might actually happen, but this move is very long-winded, and Dennis Fang just manages to pull alongside, gets his car in a great defensive position, doesn't quite force Tiago into an awkward line, but just a little bit of defensive play is enough, combined with the pace to stave off him. Oh my god, it's just weaving all across the track, and Stone Colby is immediately back to the action. All his fighting is just slowing him down. Now Stone Colby gonna be looking for a move, trying to send a move down to the outside. Great view here from the driver's point of view from Stone Colby's car. I mean, Lima just tried to go wet for a move there. Oh, breaking a little bit too early, and Colby kind of caught off guard a little bit. I mean, they're just following each other so closely. I mean, Lima is just not really having the run, but still pulling alongside. And now they're side by side, heading into turn number 4 here. Oh, sorry, this is turn number 11, 12. Into Spoon, and now there's Fang gonna go defensive. A little bit of contact there. Tiago forced to run onto the grass. Stone Colby still into action, still side by side here. Can he make the move? Stake next corner. It's gonna be Tiago who is on the outside line, but Tiago has to run and has to move. Can he make it stick here? He still needs to make it stick into heading into the braking zone, and he does. Pulls off defensively, covers the line. And Dennis Fang just doesn't have to run, and he has lost a position. Tiago, your pole sitter, who has lost a few positions, took so long trying to defend, trying to fight, finally pull alongside, and now back up into first place.
Don't count out Stone Colby once again. He's still sitting P3, but now looking down the inside, but fakes it out. Has Dennis Fang going, what the heck? I have just now lost the lead. Could now lose P2. Oh man, Tiago, we've seen the pace from him here tonight. He could run away with this thing in the last remaining couple laps.
Yeah, I think this might be a fight to the end here between these 3 drivers. I mean, it's been exhilarating the entire way through, and it might not end until we see the checkered flag. I mean, once again here, heading out into turn 1, white flag is being flown here. Last lap it is then. Let's see how much fighting we can see there. Actually, we saw Tiago pulling a little bit offline to try and just stave off Dennis Fang, deny him the aero coverage. Of course, that slipstream so important if you want to send a move down the inside of turn 1, which is where we've seen the majority of the moves take place, right? So, but into the last lap, you don't have that. Once you cross the start finish line, that is the checkered flag. So it's all about, for Lima, it's all about just driving as fast as you can right into these corners. It's not that easy to overtake. So watch out there into turn 11 and 12. That's the only, realistically speaking, overtaking opportunity for Fang or Colby to make a move on the driver ahead. Oh, once again, just to see the car lift off, to take the curve. I mean, Tiago has done a great job trying to catch back up, right? Since he's lost position to Robert Frankel, he's now back into first place. Might win from pole here. Very tough race it has been, but this might come down to the wire.
Ooh, Tiago got tight there. That's going to present an opportunity.
Oh, a little bit of contact.
Oh man, if Dennis just got a bit better run off the corner exit there, they could have been side by side, but oh, Toka, like you mentioned, he's really going to have just one more good opportunity to make that move. And then Stone Colby's also right here with them, side by side. Here we go.
This is the move for the race win here. This is the move for P1 here into Spoon. Let's see who comes out ahead here. Dennis Fang has the inside line. Tiago just going very, very wide. I mean, has into the next corner. It's actually going to be Dennis Fang who has the inside line. And Stone Colby still trying to look for a move. Still trying to look for a gap. Down the old start-finish straight here. Out of it. Oh, limited contact between Stone Colby and Dennis Fang. They're just so close to each other. Anybody can go ahead of here. Stone Colby might actually was looking for an opportunity to go 3 wide, but actually Dennis Fang is going to be the one to pull alongside ahead. Look at that. Lima still trying to go breaking late. Oh, Stone Colby just goes for a dive bomb there. A desperate attempt into the chicane, into the last few corners. Not going to make a move stick. It's going to hurt the drivers around him, and Lima is actually going to drop all the way down as he was spun around, as well as Stone Colby. Robert Schrenko now actually back up to second. We take the checkered flag. Dennis Fang with the victory, started 3rd place, but now is taking the win. Robert Schrenko out of nowhere inherits 2 positions and now takes the podium in the 2nd place. Jason Jin started 5th, an easy podium for him out of nowhere. Stone Colby, of course, a great race, a valiant race, actually gained 3 positions from the start, but just makes a really silly dive bomb move towards the end there. Unfortunate end to the race, but is going to take 4th there. And Nathaniel Redmond spinning a little bit out of the quarter exit, trying to have a little bit of fun here. Going to be up in 5th. Of course, in 6th as well there. Yes, I think.
Oh, sorry. You were reading that off.
Yeah. In 6th, Aaron Chung, of course, 7th. Posted Lima, who was on for race win contention. Ultimately comes down in 7th after getting that contact. Unfortunate from Stone Colby. In 8th there, Slater Colby. 9th, the other final Colby. Nico Colby. In 10th, Daniel Higgins. 11th, Woo. Oh, okay. 12th, Sarah Kurakani. 13th, Warren Johnson. 14th, Joe Rainey. 15th, Amethyst Reed had a very good fight actually with driver all around them. And 16th, Daniel Parmalee. 17th, Omar Hassan. 18th, Christian Gonzalez, and 19th, and Tony Greco, who both had incident who didn't actually finish the race.
Okay, this has been so much fun here tonight. We're gonna stick around with us because we're gonna take a few looks at some replays at some great passes as well as some great crashes that we missed, sticking on the battle for the lead. What felt like the whole race as Daniel Parmalee has turned himself into a bat hanging upside down. Drivers, make your way over to that driver interview if you finish top 3, and we'll get you interviewed as just after we take a couple looks at some incidents here. This is Christian Gonzalez. Matter of fact, the first time we've mentioned his name today, and that's been our pretty frequent trouble corner there.
Yeah, and we saw another driver spin there as well, so yeah, just taking a little bit too much curb, of course. I mean, it's a requirement at this point to take that curve, basically live half your car off the ground and gain as much speed as you can, right? Just extend that track.
That's what I saw with the leaders. I mean, they're doing what Caleb Greco is, as well as who was that we were just on board with?
Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah. Oh, close call for Amethyst. These drivers are doing what the fast ones are trying to do, and that's just abuse track limits and use every little inch and centimeter that you can. Here's a different Caleb Greco incident. I mean, my gosh, it shows what it takes to have pace here.
Same corner.
Yep, same exact corner.
Yeah, this time actually he didn't actually put a wheel on the curb. It just seems like a little bit of too much power out of the exit.
Is this the same corner here for Caleb Greco? Different incident? It is the same corner.
Oh my god.
Oh, that looks okay. Well, that either looks really similar.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, that was just a couple spins here. Let's, Toka, I'm going to get you, because I don't think you are in the Discord here, so I'll get you invited over there, and we'll get moving over to some interviews after this quick word from our iRacing sponsor.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com. Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the
Well, Jason, I'm going to re-ask you the most important question there because I just saw that mics were muted for commercial breaks. So yeah, you mentioned the battling there between Robert and yourself there as we've taken a look at the slow-mo replay of it. And I mean, that was just so much fun to watch. And then I asked you about, yeah, you thought you were going to finish P5, ended up P3 at the end of the race. That'll help you out in the points.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I owe Stone a little bit for that one. So yeah, keep it up, Stone.
Oh, no. Oh boy, man, this is only race, what, 3 in the season. We have so many to go, and this is just going to be great as we continue to battle down to the championship. Congratulations once again, Jason. Anybody that we'd like to thank besides Stone?
Yeah, thanks Warren again for just hosting everything. Thank you for 86 Challenge. These guys really brought driving and sim racing into my life, and it's become a real passion. And thanks to my wife who supports me and lets me spend Monday nights with everybody here. So, yep.
Shout out Jason's wife, and yeah, shout out to you, Jason. They're getting that P3 finish. Toka, you got anything for Jason before we move on to P2?
It was Jason there. Congratulations on the podium. And I think it's moved to Robert here. Robert, you hear us loud and clear?
Yeah, I gotcha. How's it going?
Yeah, okay, Robert. I mean, what a race it was for you. I think your race was definitely the most interesting out of everybody. What a roller coaster it was. Of course, you started in P2 right behind Thiago. And of course, you had that brilliant fight with him there. For a moment, you were leading the race, and it made a mistake, dropped away all the way down into 5th place, fought Jason Jin, and then out of nowhere, you're back up into the position that you started from the last lap. So how did that feel? How did all of that unfold, and what was your reaction and thoughts at the time?
Yeah, that was a very crazy race for me. Yeah, at the start with Thiago, I could see there was a couple little mishaps he had, and tried to take advantage of that, get out in the lead, and then Dennis was just pushing me hard. And when he was trying to, I think, go up the inside of me at Spoon, I dipped the wheel. I still don't know how I saved that. It was like the best drift ever, but was happy to not have completely spun out and lose more positions. And then, yeah, just tried to persevere and just stay up there at the front and just chip away at it. Of course, a couple of mishaps here and there popped up and kind of kept me from making any advancement on those guys, but I could see him, and I could see him right there in front of me. I was just like itching to get into the draft, and I could never get there. And I saw how close they were battling, and I just assumed, like, I was just kind of like, let me just bide my time and wait and see what happens, hoping that somebody would try to send it on the last lap. And sure enough, here we are. So
there we go. Then patience definitely did pay off for you there. So congratulations on the podium. What a race you had. I think anybody you want to shout out there, Robert?
Yeah, big shout out to the 86 Challenge guys, Warren specifically. As always, thanks for putting this on. To you guys do a good job on the broadcast, so thanks to y'all, as well as all of our team sponsors, VRS, SubiSafe, Dangerous, SimMotion, Abruzzi, Ackerman Toyota. Big thanks to my girlfriend for supporting me and letting me do this awesome hobby.
All right, then congratulations. I think it's about high time we move on to our race winner for today at Suzuka. Congratulations, Dennis Fang, for the race win. Now you're back up there immediately, back into the fight of the championship. Congratulations on the win. Let's start off with how are we feeling today, and then we'll let Sean finish off the round of questions.
You there, Dennis? He's talking, but you can't hear him.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I see his.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
there he is.
Hey, sorry about that. Yeah, yeah. Thanks so much for putting on the broadcast, and yeah, a great race to Thiago and Stone and Robert. That was pretty insane. Yeah, I was trying to cling on to the best result that I could. And it was just unlucky for Thiago and Robert at the end to get too hot in that last corner. But yeah, I tried every trick in the book that I could think of. So yeah, the draft is so strong in these cars. So if you end up P1, you just get drawn right back in.
what I was actually interested on is the slipstream use in these cars, especially here at Suzuka, where you got that longer sort of start-finish straightaway. Oh, what battling out on track here today, and what did you think? Well, I guess it would have been in the relative box. Did you even notice that there was contact made between Tiago and Slater?
Yeah, because in the last milliseconds, I saw a big yellow car rushing up in my rearview mirror, and then I got knocked loose, and I saw them both go off, and yeah. I was on voice chat asking Stone to push me, so I kind of goaded him into it, I suppose. But
I saw that down the other sort of straightaway we have here at Suzuka. It almost looked like a little bit of bump drafting there with, Slater helping you out.
Yeah, yeah.
That was big time.
Yeah, I think it was just a drag race between me and Tiago, and of course it was Stone there who got to decide our fate basically by pushing one of us. That was really intense.
As we're taking a look at it on the replay now, this is the bump draft I was talking about from Slater to the back bumper, and well, I guess the history books will write themselves. Let's take a look at a slowed down look from the aerial cam of, oh, here it comes, just rocket ship. Oh boy, hang on to her. That almost clipped your back bumper, Dennis. Congratulations on the win, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, I think Tiago, Stone, and also Robert, who we were battling with, they all deserved a top finish for sure. It was chaotic, but really good racing.
It was, and I mean, I don't fault Slater whatsoever. That was just, I mean, you're coming into the last corner there, and you got to do what you got to do, and we've seen the respect and sportsmanship out of everybody that races here at 86 Challenge, so I would never call that intentional for either of these drivers. It's just so much fun to watch and commentate on when we get a finish like that. So shout out everybody for coming out here racing with us this Monday night. Dennis, anybody you'd like to shout out before we get going?
Yeah, thanks to everyone who showed up today. Glad the 86 League is blowing up. And thanks for Warren for doing basically everything to put it on, and you guys for putting on the show. So, yeah, thank you all.
Appreciate that, Dennis.
Appreciate you, Dennis. Warren, before we get going, I know you're the league owner here. We got to ask you anything that you'd like said, done. And I would once again like to shout out the paint scheme done by their Robert finishing P2. Great looks.
Oh yeah, he is a master of the liveries. It's great, and we're making a couple more, so stay tuned for that. They're gonna be really good. But yeah, hey, a couple people, Dennis, Jason, Robert, you guys had an amazing race. Everybody in this whole league, for coming out. That's you guys that make it fun. You guys can thank me all you want, but it wouldn't happen if we didn't have 20 to 25 great racers coming every week. So this is I'm really happy to see that.
We're happy to see you still alive after that wreck after
on the last lap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Joe Rainey with the Bush League move there at the end. That was just I had to put that boomer in his place when we came out of there, and we got him at the end of the race. No, I love Joe. We were messing around, tried to give you something to talk about there.
Oh, it totally did. Oh, there's a good shot there of Joe sliding his way into you. All right.
I love it.
We're going to get out of here. This has been Sean Sam Toka here on SSN. Appreciate everybody joining us here on YouTube Live, as well as, well, if you watch the replay, appreciate that as well. This has been Stam Studio Network. Catch us, believe, we got Thursday, some multi-class racing.
Yes, multi-class. Where are we going to be at? Looks like Oran Park.
Ooh.
That's next up. Oh yeah, that's going to be Miatas and 86s. That's going to be an amazing race.
Oh, good combo there. All righty, I'm going to get on out of here, catch my plane ride home, and I appreciate it once again, everybody joining here on SSN. Have a great rest of your night.
Have a good one.